I want anyone who's been through what I've been through or anything similar to know this. It's time to take your power back. It's time to find your voice. It's time to start being happy and living again. This isn't about them. It isn't about anyone else. This is about you. Finding your voice, keeping it, and never letting anyone silence it again. It's about reclaiming your power, loving yourself, and living your life to the fullest. Hey YouTube, welcome to my channel. My name is Indigo and welcome to All Things Indigo. So today I would like to talk a little bit about getting the right therapy and or psychiatrist, right? Because that is often, this is very important for people who, you know, need a little bit of, guidance, you know, on, as to where, or what, you know, the things you've been through, a little bit of help, a little bit of push, a little bit of assurance, you know. Um, and I want to talk about that because of my experience. But I'm saying maybe, a few of you have been through something similar. So, for instance, like when I first started therapy, um, it was a little scary because I've never been, um, and I didn't know where to go really. So I did get, I believe I got at that time, referred to the place I had went to. So I went to a local place that had therapists and psychiatrists there, and when you first pull up to the place, it's an open window. Like it's a floor. It's a place where you can just walk right in, like in a brick and mortar, I guess you call it. Where like a storefront type place, and you go in. Everybody can see you in there. That first of all, like I said, after I started therapy after my husband, and it was scary, you know. And you sitting there and people could see you. Like I said, I didn't like being seen, so it was a little difficult for me to sit there. I would try to sit in the furthest corner that was out the way of the where people could walk by and see you. I wasn't afraid of any, like, someone I knew seeing me. I was just afraid of people seeing me in there. I don't know if it was in the, yeah, it probably was. And so this place, some people were like, it was like, you can tell when some people may have needed more medication, or were, or maybe new to the medication, or not quite on. It was a little scary, but anywho, I saw this young lady. Well, just this therapist, and first of all, when you walk in, um it's a very small office, and I had already problems with, like, you know small spaces and things like that. But I went to see her for months. I didn't wasn't sure if she well, I wasn't sure what I was doing, first of all. um but I didn't feel, she didn't ask me a lot of questions, but she would test. So I had this thing that I would do where I would, like, shake my leg, shake my leg. And she was like, what does that do for you? I think she was actually okay. I just didn't, like I said, I wasn't familiar. I didn't know how I felt at that time. But she asked me what did that do for me, and it was just like a comforting mechanism, I told her. Something, that helped me stay a little bit calm. And she was like, talk to your leg. Talk to your leg. Tell it what, how you feel, how it's helping you. And I thought that was, I thought that was kind of strange. I don't know if it was helpful, you know, wasn't hurtful, but I'm saying I don't know, you know, you know, I don't know if that was, it might have been, something that was like something she knew, but I didn't know, or whatever the case may be. But I went to see a couple of times, and I just talked about, I don't even remember exactly the things I talked about, but I saw a psychiatrist there, that was to get medication at the time. That I didn't like. Not just the medication. I'm talking about the lady was so impersonal. Like kind of like, okay, you know, uh oh, you here to get some medication? Okay. And I was just like, okay. She gave me the prescription, and that sent me on my way. So it was kind of like, you know, um, I don't know, like, okay, I thought I would get more like out of you, or like, I don't know, but okay. So like I said, I was there for a couple of months, and then because I didn't know anything else, but it got shut down. That place got shut down. So I'm like, okay, they didn't tell us like, you can go. They didn't recommend us anywhere else. It just was it got shut down. Okay, fine. So now I have to find another place. I find another place. First of all, it's by a highway. It's by a highway. I'm talking about like well, I guess it's not. I don't know if it's a highway, but there's there's a, I guess, a bridge, not a bridge, but cars overpass, right, and then an underpass. It's like right there by that, right. It's a hospital, right by a shelter. Also, so it's just like chaotic. School across the street. You go in this place. You go. First of all, it's not inviting looking. It's dark when you walk in. They have a security and everything. It was security. It wasn't like a front desk. Any like secretary or something like that. And so they tell you where to go. So you walk down this long, dismal looking hallway. Then you make a right. It's dark there. It's kind of like you're walking through a basement. Yeah. And then you have to get to the elevator. So I'm like, wow, get on the elevator, go upstairs. And it's kind of more a little bit better, but it's just not light enough. Like I felt like it should have been more light, or maybe I don't know what was the problem, but sit there. Yeah, it was a lot of, yeah, people. And I seen the lady. She was busy talking to like her coworkers, laughing, everything. It didn't feel warming. It didn't feel. I went there twice, and then I left. She just asked me what was going on and everything. Like I said, it just didn't seem personal enough for me. Like she took her job serious as I needed her to take it. Um, so that was that one. And then for I think I stopped for a few years. Um, yeah, I believe I stopped for a few years. Then I found another place. Now I was going to this place. It was great. I loved the first the first therapist I had there. She would get down to it today. This is why you this way. This is why it's no wonder why you ain't pulled your hair out. I can't believe that you're still standing. But I was able to open up with to her, and I loved that because she was very inviting. She was very matter of fact about my situation. Like she really cared. Um, and she was there for a while. She told me I had to build my house back up, if you will. Like she was giving me these metaphors, but she also was making it plain and simple of why this. And she was upset for me. I love that. I love that she was upset for me about this, what I went through. I love that because that told me that she was paying attention. It told me that she cared. At least she appeared to. It told me that she was like, like unbelievable. Like this is like this shouldn't happen to anyone, any child. The things I was telling her, and then, And but unfortunately, she went on to become an activist. That's she was passionate, so I guess she said, she probably felt like she had a better calling. You know, yeah. So I went on, ended up with another therapist, and this one was she was kind of like, at that same place. She was just she just she listened. I'm not gonna say she didn't listen, and she was just like, what was that like? And then nothing else. I'm just talking. Then I would stop, and then she's like, is there anything else you want? Would you like to share? She wasn't giving me feedback. So every I believe every individual needs something different. A lot of us need something different. Rather is you need someone to interact with you more. You might need someone to just listen. But I was a person that needed, like, okay, I'm here for a reason. I'm all over the place. I'm all over the place, and I just need direction as to why I'm feeling this way. you know I want to be able to tell you what happened, what has happened, how I feel, and can you just point me in the right direction of healing? Can you just help me a little bit understand how to even do it? And she wasn't the right one for me. I saw her, I believe I saw her probably 3 times, and then I was switched to another woman. She was okay. She was okay, and then I stopped for a while. I don't know what happened. Well, like I said, I was in a whole different mindset, whole different mind frame. Still dealing with a lot of layers of stuff. Um, and still didn't know how to do it, because every time I came back out, you know, I get distracted by something else, a party. Because, like I said, when I was in my marriage, I didn't feel free. I was a wife, I was a mother, and I did those things. I did what I needed to do, and I didn't hang out, like, unless it was with his people or whatever. But yeah, so when I was felt free, I would, my focus was on, at first my focus was on partying, hanging out, meeting, trying to meet guys. Once I got the confidence to feel like I wanted to, that's what my focus was on. So I still wasn't, I don't, nothing was commanding my attention at therapy, to the way I needed it. Although I needed to have someone make me feel like, okay, or maybe at that time it just wasn't their time. I want to say, because sometimes, um, you walk through life lessons, or you have to get through some things, or you're not ready, and God knows you're not ready. Maybe, I don't know, not sure. But um I stopped for a while, and then that whole epidemic happened, and whatever. I was home. Yeah, so anyway, past that, I did go back. I was, my lovely sister friend recommended me to a place, and I, came across someone, and she was a sweetheart and everything. But yeah, she, I talked to her, and it just like, like I said, everybody is not the right fit, for everybody. Everybody doesn't have what you need, and it's not taking anything away from these people. Just wasn't the right fit. So that's my thing. um Finding the right therapist, and so now, for the last couple of weeks, I have been in therapy with a wonderful person, and yeah, I love it. I love it. It's like, so this is the thing. I actually told the people when I called, because this was my second time actually, dealing with this I don't know, I don't want to say company, this place that has therapists. And I told them, please, I need somebody that's gonna give me feedback. I need, I told them what I needed, and they gave me someone that, I needed, and I'm so happy, to the point where, let me just say this: a lot of times, even with my therapist, um, any other, professionals, I most likely wouldn't even return a call. You hear me? Because I just was not, you know, enthused about life, um, motivated, and now, that I have somebody that's I know is listening. It's like, yeah, I had my social worker tell me, this was the first time you even called me back. You actually called me back, so I know you're doing some type of work. I'm like, yeah, this is the first time, Um, so yeah, I love it. So my point in bringing this up is, um, you know, for finding the right therapist is very important, and like I said, and or psychiatrist, that someone who's going to listen to you, because yes, some of us may have family or friends we can turn to for support. Some of us may not. I don't have many people you know that can support me in this way. So I have my children, but I don't want to burden them and down with, even though they're like, yeah, mommy, you can talk to us about anything. I don't want to do that. They have their own lives. They have their own things that they're dealing with. So I need a professional. I have my sister friend who I definitely talk to all the time, and my therapist. And, so I feel like I'm making progress. I feel like, you know, day by day, like I said, because yesterday was a day, but it was, mostly pain. But my pain causes me mental stress. So yeah, but I still tried to push through to make a video. Um, but yeah, so guys, if you need therapy, and then there was a stigma about therapy too, like, oh, person crazy. No, I remember I used to think that's what it was too. No, some people need keys to this life. Like, I need you to be my key. Help me open this door and unclutter. Put some stuff in some boxes. This stuff I don't need. This is stuff I don't need. This is what my very first therapist taught me. Put that stuff in your box. Like, you got this. She said it's like a house, an old house. You have to go up in the attic. There's stuff there that's been there for years, and you have to clean it out. Some of that stuff you don't need. That's what she told me, and I love that analogy. I love that. What is it, an analogy? She might tell me in the comments. I think it is though, but yes, so I just wanted to share that with you guys. And I pray your journeys are more peaceful and you find some joy. Make sure to take time to find joy in something that you enjoy, something that brings you peace, whether it's riding, fishing, walking, jogging, basketball, whatever, And so next time, peace and blessings.